All right, what are we up to, man?
Okay, so I've been teaching you over the course of the last 6 months some of the basics of woodworking, right?
Right.
Okay, one of the things I've mentioned quite a few times, and I want to do a little bit of an experiment today, okay? That's going to last until we come back. We got to go into a glue up, and I've been mentioning long grain to long grain adhesion.
Just a few times.
Okay, and end grain to long grain. Okay, and why woodworking joinery? So this is a piece of wood, this is long grain, okay? And this is your end grain. Okay, I just milled these so that everything has a nice surface to mate with.
Okay.
Okay, now, think of this. This is the way the tree grows. Think of this as a bunch of straws. Every woodworking teacher has a thing of straws to show you how water's drawn up into the canopy of the leaves and everything, and how wood grows and everything. It's explained like that in that book I mentioned the other day on the Pick 6. Okay, understanding wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread out a little glue here, okay, on both sides, and I'm going to coat them evenly. Let's see if I get the right ones chosen. Okay, and when I say evenly, the whole surface. Now you'll hear all kinds of myths about clamping pressure, okay? You'll hear some of these joints like this is called a rubbed joint, and people don't understand that, but that's what it was called back in ye old days. Okay, but a rubbed joint is basically this. You put some long grain to long grain together and you rub it like that to evenly spread the glue. Now, over the course of the week, usually this is about a 24-hour cure. Okay. 12 to 24. I always leave it in for at least 12. Okay. Now, I could leave it just like that, and we would be fine. Okay, but we're gonna put a clamp, because what I want to do next is I want to take, that's the part I milled there. I'm gonna take a little bit of glue like this and put it on here. Okay, and just spread it around. Just like this. This is fresh glue. Okay, I'm going to take it just like this, and we'll put a clamp on it, okay?
All right.
Okay, end grain to long grain. And we'll see, and you'll see it come right out, okay? Because I wanted to make sure there was plenty on there. Good?
Sounds good.
So we got a clamp on there, and we'll leave it to cure for at least 12 hours, okay?
Sounds good.
Hey, it's been over 12 hours, and we're it's all dried up, fully cured. We changed shirts. Okay. All right, so we get into that. We're gonna take it out of glue, and you're gonna see how everything is rock solid, right? Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hold it here, and this is the end grain, okay, that we put to the long grain, right? Watch.
Whoa.
So what if that was a rung on a chair? Okay, and what if I put my foot on there?
Be gone.
It would be gone, right? There is no joinery. It doesn't link together. Okay? Now, we did long grain to long grain. Say that we're putting together a butcher block or whatever, right? Okay, just like that. Do we need a domino in there?
No.
Right? We don't need any joinery, because that long grain to long grain holds it together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very careful here, and I'm going to put this right down my glue line like this, and I'm going to try to take this apart. All right? It's virtually impossible. But I'm going to try to break it apart. You're going to see how the wood is joined together. I can't take it apart. It's solid. That's why it's going to stay together forever. So, the reason I wanted to teach you this is that's what you have to do when you do your joinery with wood. I mean, I know I'm going through all these basic things, but I think it's needed. And it comes to fruition when people ask, hey, what size domino I should use for joinery, okay? Now, a lot of people may say, okay, this is a 5 by 30, 30 being the length. Okay, and the rule of thumb when you're joining wood is a third, third, and a third. Where if I take my board like this, okay, and I divide it in 3, okay, equal parts, that should be the thickness of my tenon. So I'm going to measure that really quick, and I think the thickness of this is 32 millimeter, roughly 32, right? So divide 32 by 3, it's roughly 10.
Right.
So I would use a 10 by 50.
Okay.
But how am I going to join this if it's 50 and 50 in there? Okay, 50 here and here. So that's why I want to optimize more long grain to long grain adhesion. So I choose a domino that's a 10. Okay, this is a 14, but I got a heck of a lot more glue line in there. Right. Follow me? So it's still long grain to long grain adhesion. Okay?
Nice.
And that's why it's so important to understand how wood is linked together with the glue. Okay?
Very important.
So there you go. So once again, as we always say,
be positive
and stay sharp.